crazy kiddos. It is time to do our math page 303 and 304. It is Tuesday, April 21st. All right, we are going to start on problem number 1. It is a time question. It says, Dad and Jacob leave the campsite at 6:45 a.m. to go hiking. It takes them 10 minutes to get to the trail. Dad and Jacob spent 15 minutes packing their gear. What time do Dad and Jacob begin their hike? Well, it took them 10 extra minutes to get to the trail and 15 minutes to pack their gear. So we would have to add 10 plus 15. 10 plus 15. So it took them an extra 25 minutes just to get to the trail and to pack. Now we have to add that to 6:45 a.m. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a Judy clock here. And I'm going to put it at 6:45. So we know it's not quite at 7. And you're going to have to count by 5s for 25 extra minutes. Because as you go to each number, you're counting by 5s. So if we spin this around, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Can you see that there? What time is it now? It's 7. This should actually be a little bit like that. 7, 5, 10. So let's see if 7:10 is one of our choices. Whoop. And there it is. It's the first one. Easy peasy. Okay, Ashley and Emily rode horses for 2 hours. They began riding at 2:50. What time did they finish? Well, you'll leave the minutes the same. Just add 2 to the hours. So 2, 3, 4. 4:50. Okay, next one. It says, do you think the girls rode in the AM or PM? Some of you are mixing these up. Remember, AM is morning time. PM is in the evening or after 12 p.m., like lunchtime at school and after, all the way up until midnight. So do you think they rode in the morning, 4:50 in the morning, or 2:50 in the morning, or do you think they started in the afternoon at 2:50? I think they started at 2:50 p.m. They started riding in the afternoon, probably after lunch. Okay, how much money? 3/4 equals. What are quarters worth? If you said 25, you're right. So we got to count by 25s. 25, 50, 75. Okay, and that's cents. Dimes, what do we count by? We count by 10s. What's 4 times 10 or 4 dimes? 10, 20, 30, 40. 7 nickels. What do you count by when you do nickels? You count by 5s. Quick way to do this is 7 times 5. 7 groups of 5 nickels. Do you know what 7 times 5 is? 35. Now we have to add these up. 5, 10, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. But we have to remember to bring that decimal point down before we put the 1 and make a dollar sign. Okay, the next one over here, I'm going to have you do this on your own. I'm just going to go through and make sure you know what these are. Half dollars are worth 50 cents, so you'd have to count by 50s. You remember doing that? 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, and so on. So count 3 of those. 9 nickels, you know nickels are worth 5 cents. So you know that's 9 times 5 will get you the number here. And pennies are worth 1 cent. 8 groups of 1. You're going to write that right here. But on this one, remember, you have to put 0, 8, right? Don't forget that 0, and then you're going to add straight down and bring your decimal point down. On the bottom, you're doing some subtraction and addition, and then you're doing some dividing. How many groups of 10 are in 8? Or 10 times what is 80? Okay, so you know it's 8. You're going to do those, and then you're multiplying by 2, the doubles of these numbers. Okay, let's go ahead and flip on the back side of your page. I have a language page under here too. I'll move that. Okay, number 1, you're going to skip. That's the combinations. And we're going to go to number 2, this box right here. Remember, you're trying to use the least amount, the fewest pieces of money. So if you look at the $5, how many $5 bills are in 7? It's going to be one of those. Okay, so now we have $5 and we have to get to $7. So how many $1 bills would we need? 5, 6, 7. So we're on 2 of those. Now we're on the change. 87 cents. How many quarters could you fit in 87 cents? Well, you'd have to count by 25. So 25, 50, 75. We'd have to stop there. This gives you a hint because you're going to 75 cents. So now you're at 7.75 and you have to get to 7.85 by using a dime. How many dimes would it take? 1. So now we're at 7.85. And if you added a nickel, that would be too much. So we know that's a 0. And how many pennies to get from 85 to 87? 2. You got it. Okay, guys, now we are going to go to number 3. And this one's a little tricky, so I'm going to be using a whiteboard to show you a new concept, which is rounding to the hundreds place. So let's take a look at this first one. It says $4.15 is in between what $2? Okay, so $4.15 would come in between $4 and $5. But I'm going to show you something. So if you have the number 415, okay, you can put that decimal there, but let's just pretend it's not even there. Okay, if you're rounding to the nearest hundreds place, you're going to look at the digit that's in the tens place. You're not looking at the one in the ones place. If we're rounding to tens, you would look at this digit. But since we're rounding to hundreds, you look at the digit in the tens place. So we know 1 is a weak number, right? So the 4 remains the same. And then the other digits would change to zeros. So $4.15 would round to 4. Now, what $2 is this in between? It's in between $4 and $5, okay? But the number that it rounded to was $4. That's how they got that. Okay, so let's try this next one. This might be a little tricky for you, and if it is, I really want you to text me and I can go over this with you, okay, one-on-one. Okay, $7.48. Let's round this first. $7.48. We're going to look at the digit in the tens place right here. It's a 4. It's a weak number. So the 7 stays the same and the other ones become zeros. This is what it's going to round to. And we know $7.48 is in between $7 and $8, okay? But the one it's closest to is the 7. That's what it rounds to. So you would write $7. It's in between $7 and $8. And the one that it's closest to is the $7. Okay, let's try the next one. Okay, $8.88. $8.88. So if we look at 888, and we're rounding this to the nearest hundreds place. You look at this digit, that's a strong number. It's going to change that 8 to 9, this one. These become zeros. You just add in that decimal point and that dollar point. So this rounds to 9. So 888 is in between $8 and $9, but the one it rounds to is the $9. Okay, we're going to do some more rounding on number 4. Mark the nearest dollar, $11.32. 3 is weak, so that means the 1 would stay the same. These would be zeros, so it's going to be this one. Let's look at this one. What do you think about this? A 5. We have a 5. 5 or more, let it score. That's going to change that 8 to 9. These become zeros. So which one is it? You guessed it. Okay. And this one, $79.36. We're looking at this digit here. The 3 is weak, which means the 9 would stay the same. You leave the 7. These would become zeros. So it's going to be this one. Last problem, guys. Number 5, you need to divide by 5. 25 divided by 5, or 5 times what is 25? 5. Okay? What is 40 divided by 5? The quotient goes right here. That's the answer to a division problem. 40 divided by 5, or 5 times what equals 40? 8. Okay, you do this last one, 10. 10 divided by 5. Or actually, you have 2 more. 10 divided by 5, easy peasy. And this one is going to be 35 divided by 5. So go ahead and finish up that page, and you are done with your math page for the day. Any questions, let me know.